Hey guys peeps, and welcome back to Snail TV. I'm absolutely smashing the Supra off. I haven't really been filming bits and pieces here and there. Only just done, all the lines and whatnot. I really just want to show you over exactly what I've done and the cool stuff So just managed to get a lot more done, that's all. And just, yeah, smash it out sort of thing. So take a quick look, guys. So turbo side, cold side is getting started, and yeah, managed to get a few little bits and pieces and a few lines and whatnot. I'll take you up in a second and we can have a look exactly what I've done underneath the car as well. But I really want to show you a couple of things, and you'll see on the heading there of this exhaust system. So yes, we're doing an alley exhaust, full 4-inch exhaust, and as you can see right there, guys, yeah, full 4-inch aluminium exhaust. I'm just waiting on the bung to get here so I can weld in an M18 weld on fitting there for the O2 sensor. And once we got that, then we can, yeah, dump pipe is 100% done. We've got underneath done as well, just a little bit. We're not right way through yet, but yeah, we'll go up in a second and on that. But yeah, it's looking real good. All the bits and pieces, the coil pack, the last coil pack finally come in as well, and a couple other little bits and pieces come in. Still waiting on a few parts, so whenever they come in, that's a yeah, the holidays at the moment, so things take a little bit longer than necessary. But yeah, so far so good. Sneak peek underneath when it comes. Got it pretty long mounted there, as you can see from the bottom of the car. Only just tucks out. Alright, so this is the only bit of the exhaust I've got done so far, is the dump pipe, small piece, and right here. So that's all we've got so far, and then we've got to bend here and continue to the outside. I'll tell you exactly what the go is on the back side here, something pretty cool that I've sort of come up with, and I think that should work really, really nice on the back there. But let's go over a few things, eh? Alright, so fuel filter we've got mounted, Raceworks, bit at Raceworks one, that's all come up good. So fuel system is actually all hooked up. Then we'll go power steering on the front here. Power steering lines are all done. All right, so as I said to you about this bit here, it doesn't really move much, but we'll see. We're just going to keep watch, all right? I do want to make some brackets off of something first a bit later, but for now we're just going to keep an watch on it, and it's real strong at the front here, so far so good. All right, then we're going to go for, you can see to the intercooler pipe on this side is started. All right, now this is the biggest one, is you guys did know that I needed some space here for the intercooler pipe, because I did have to maybe go on the top there. So something a bit different that I've done and I thought of, I'm not sure if many people have done it before or anyone's done it, I'm not sure. But I looked up the PSI rating of what, because I didn't know how much PSI the AC ran, because that's what's actually in the way, is these massive blocks for the AC, of how it's just how they connect together. They got these O-rings that go onto these blocks, and they factory mount onto the chassis, underneath the chassis. That's what these holes are here for, and that right here, so I couldn't put a pipe there. So, and they needed to either go, or I had to cut a hole in the top there. I didn't want to cut the hole, I really wanted them to move. They're all hard lined, so it's hard to, you can't just bend things and stuff like that. So what I actually come up with was to put AN fittings on and run some dash lines. I did Google of how much PSI the AC runs, and on the high side it runs 150, and on the low side it runs 30. So that's what I've created, guys. All right, so what I've done, these are the blocks. All right, so I did manage to take off of the O-rings first, of course, and then cleaned them all up and welded a -6 on the smaller one. I'm pretty sure that'd be the high side then, and a -8 on the low side, if that is. I'm not sure if they're around or up if they're low or high, whatever one they are, but that's the fitting size that I've done. And as you can see, gone around, everything clears here, guys. You can see, all right, nicely goes, tucks underneath, all right, nicely. All right, got them a couple of cable ties there nicely, and it's actually got a real nice, you know, flared bit of plastic there. That's how it is. And I've got it going up. Same thing, I've got another fitting welded up to on the compressor. And also what I've had to do is, I'll see if I can get you up here. Yeah, I'll turn you. You're coming up. There we go. So up on here, I've had to put the fitting on the actual pressure sensor on the actual the AC line there. So managed to get that up real well, and that's come up real neat. The only problem is because now I've done that, it's almost like I need to do all of them. Absolutely sucks. So I might have to do that. So we'll see how time goes. You know, I've got a few other bits and pieces. It's not necessary because it's actually all hooked up right now. But as you can see from, I can change this line here and get rid of that one, and weld a fitting there and a welder fitting at the inside. And same as this hard line that I've got going crossover. We can weld a fitting on that side there, and then it'll be a nice line instead of this hard line right here. Get rid of this hard line, and as you can see of how much neater that looks up here on the left hand side compared to the right hand side. All right, so I think that's probably gonna have to be the go. As I said, probably not right now. I'll probably get some stuff ordered and whatnot, but you know, just that little bit of pieces, that's probably gonna cost me a couple $100 for that. It's not a necessary piece, but it will actually look a lot better because you do see it from inside the engine bay. But yeah, I think that we will get that done as well. So I'll focus on the main things that we're looking for, guys, because it's almost plumbed up. It's real close. Because I've got the fuel reg all plumbed up on this side. I also got the fuel pressure done from the filter. That's all mounted up real nice. I'm stoked of how that's come up. You can sort of see of how I've sort of done it. Is a bracket coming off and just 2 nice hose clamps. And that is solid as a rock. And I've got it barbed fitting onto the original. This is just a case and a cover just to protect it. Now we're coming onto the trans, guys. Yes, I did actually end up mounting it underneath. Really still did want to do, just because of, I didn't want anything at the front here. I just don't want lines. I don't want lines at the front. And as you can see from that already, I've already got a couple of lines here, and but the intercooler pipe will mix that anyway. But it's real clean here. There's no power steering at the front. Power steering's in the center. Trans we're going to keep at the back. All right, so what ended up happening was we got the fan mounted up there as well. So the 8mm fan, I've just got them with cable ties happening because it's the neatest thing to do instead of making up brackets. And you can see the little brackets on either side. Some just a nut insert here, right here. And I've actually just drilled and tapped quickly into the transmission mount for this one here. And it is solid as an absolute rock. Now, what I've also done is mounted the pressure sensor on this one, and also the temperature sensor on this one as well. So this very first one output here is the one that comes out of the trans, comes straight into the cooler, and that's what we read off of. So we want the direct temperature from that. You can have a look here. That's actually only a fitting. That is not a pressure sensor there. That's because we are going to be doing a remote block on top. So this is something new that I'm going to be doing, and because I don't like to be mounting all these pressure sensors on the actual block and that all themselves, we're going to mount them all up top. And I think that's going to be a lot neater. to actually mount it all in one and not everywhere else. So that's another thing, that's another episode, that's all fine. But this is what we've got so far. So we've got the fitting there ready to go. So that's all good. And you can just see of how small this little line here this is the return. So after it goes through the cooler, it cools down, comes back out the return, comes back in, goes back into the tank. All right, back in the trans, sorry. All right, that's how we're gonna go. So really excited about that. Everything else is looking really, really good. So the only other thing that I still actually need to do is some sort of fuel system. In-tank pump is what I'm gonna have to do. I'm just thinking about like twin wheelbarrows or something like that. I think that's gonna be easiest. As I said, I'm not right there now. I'm still just underneath the car, finishing off this exhaust. Now, this is the biggest thing of what we are to do. So it's a straight 4-inch exhaust on this car, and I hate mufflers. I absolutely hate mufflers. Just don't like them because yeah, they're just, yeah, I think they're poo, and I just don't like wasting money on that sort of stuff. I like wasting money on cool stuff and not just standard stuff that you'll lose horsepower through. And I do know it does muffle the sound, but I just don't like that. So with straight 4-inch exhaust on the big 42 turbo, I know it's going to be loud. Okay, so what exactly are we going to do? Thought about a few things and a few options, and I can't obviously do a side exhaust on these things. I don't want to do that sort of crazy stuff on a street car. But what I'm thinking is to do a exhaust cutout. All right, so you might think that's just plain and simple, but not the one that I've got planned for it. So an exhaust cutout is where it comes in, and then it will go, you got a flappy, just a butterfly, and it will switch off. So it's been on, and then when you want it to go, you just cut out. You just make it cut out and it cuts out. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not just gonna do a cutout and just have it dumped out like where it is right now. So I'm actually going to be just doing a full exhaust and cutting it, okay? So what the plan is, so underneath here is to do a full exhaust. So all the way to the back. Once we get to the back here, there's massive amounts of room under here because this is where you normally have your big cannon or whatnot. Under here is we're going to do the exhaust cutout here. So, but I can't just do a normal exhaust cutout. Well, I can. A normal exhaust cutout is they're a steel housing. Okay, so I can make 2 flanges that go to it and have it bolted up. What I have in store is doing a drive-by-wire, okay, as the exhaust cutout. It will still only be activating as a open and close. It won't be percentages or anything like that. So it won't be making it run like a drive-by-wire. But the best thing is, because they do have a TPS sensor on them, I will know inside the car, I can have it switched on as, well, censored, that when it is open, you're gonna hear it, I do know that, but you can, it's also another output. So when things are opened, then you can have other things activated and make sure things are, you know, working correctly, that's all. And it's all data logged, you know, so you can actually know when that exhaust cutout is opened through data logged and whatnot as well. So that's the good thing about it, but also because it is an alloy housing, and also there's a lot of things that I can weld to on that, and we are doing an alloy exhaust. So I think that's going to be the best way. Plus, in 4-inch, a 4-inch drive-by-wire is a lot cheaper than a 4-inch cutout. So that's also another way as well that I'm having a look at it as well. So I think that's going to be the best. Now, the way I'm going to be running it is coming out of the 4-inch exhaust. All right, that's where the cutout's going to be. Boom, right? Now, before that, just before that, is going to be a bypass pipe coming off of that 4-inch, and it's only going to be, say, a 40 mil alloy pipe, right? So technically it's only going to be a 40 mil exhaust, okay, coming out of the back. And then I'll have to definitely have a V-band there, so then I can take it off when we disconnect it from the drive-by-wire. And then it will be coming back into the exhaust. So that'll be a straight, okay? And I'll just draw it on a piece of paper for you so you guys can sort of know what I'm sort of talking about. Alright, so what I've got in mind is the exhaust is going to be big 4-inch exhaust. Alright, drive-by wire. You just do this big thing. Alright, and then exhaust. Okay, and then okay, that's the oval, that's the exhaust. But. That's where it's going to be coming from. Alright, I'm not a good drawer, so that's where we're going to go from. Now, here is I'm going to be having a 40mm pipe with a V-band. Alright, there will be a V-band here as well to take this exhaust off. Okay, there's going to be a V-band here so we can take this off. And also then it's going to be coming back into there. All right, so this is only going to be 40mm. So technically this is going to be a 40mm pipe. So very small, okay? And you got 4-inch, so you got 100mm here, all right? 100 and then 40. So it's always going to be running in the 40mm on when it's closed, okay? We'll always be just running it through. That's why it's going to be like that. And then on when I turn this on, I'll probably activate it as a switch, or just in case under boost as well. It will open and flow through 100mm pipe instead. All right, so it'll be straight through. And I think that is probably the best way to do it, because it's going to be flowing straight. It won't be flowing off when the exhaust cut it, because they normally cut it out here, coming out, and then that's your exhaust cut out, and then you just dump the pipe there. So it actually has to flow that way as well. So I'm not going into details with flow and whatnot, but I think that that is going to be the best way for my situation, and also for what I've come up with the alloy exhaust and whatnot. Alloy exhaust ain't new. There's been a lot of cars that have used it as well, and it does sound a lot different. I think it sounds pretty nice, okay? And I've heard a lot of, not a lot, but I've heard a couple of Supras with alloy exhaust. Saves a lot of weight as well. Exhaust is not a massive thing that's very heavy, but it is a little bit there, you know. But it does save a lot of weight, and also, but I think just with that drive-by wire, because there is a set like a TPS sensor in there, I will know when that's open and when that's closed. Well, not just me, the actual ECU will as well. So that's a good thing. That is just for data logging as well, and also just knowing of when it is open, that's all. So, you know, you're gonna hear it, but the ECU doesn't know when it's open, that's all. All right, so that's what I come up with. Sorry I haven't got no building videos today. I did do a lot of building, I did a lot of stuff. I've been massive, I've just been very busy. But I think personally that that's what, yeah, so far, so good. So I'm real happy with it so far. I've still got the intercooler to go, and I'll be getting that done very, very soon, guys. But I need to get the timing belt gear here on, and also then the harmonic balancing can go on, and then the rest of the couple other little bits and pieces. Once they're on, then I can then position this, because this has to come back off, because I can get the rattle gun in there to do the harmonic balancer bolt up, and then we can put the front mount on. I don't want to be just putting things on, taking them off, so I'll do that afterwards. But for now, as I did say, that I'm doing the exhaust just to get it out the way, you know. So really excited about that. Anyway, guys, sorry about the blabbering on, but I just really want to explain a couple of things that we are doing on the Supra that's a bit different, and that yeah, hope you guys like, and a bit of information for you guys. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. We'll finish it up. So thanks very much, guys. Thanks for liking the videos. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks very much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you, peeps.